Carl. How are you doing?
Very good. How are you, man?
I am amazing. It's finally we're doing this. I don't know anybody who works harder than you. Trust me, guys. Like it's Sunday,
Mhm.
so that proves it, right?
Well, it goes back to you as well, right?
Who's Carl Runfeld?
Well, I am currently a entrepreneur, crypto investor. I started my career as a YouTube influencer. That was my first kind of step into the whole world of money and success and influence. Today, I'm busy with my companies and my employees and managing many different things. So I still make videos sometimes, as people can see on my channel. But it's not my main thing anymore. But I still like it because I enjoy talking to my audience, and they seem to enjoy my videos still because they keep coming back, so for them I keep it up. And yeah, but I am many things. I'm
Mhm.
like a chameleon. Like if I come up with a new idea, I'll go fix it, I'll do it, and then that's a new thing in my career, I would say. So one of the companies that have been quite famous lately is cryptojobs.com, building that now and growing very fast. Now the biggest crypto job board in the world. So
For everyone is knowing you for like your channel and your content and all the stuff you mentioned. I know prior that you had passion in understanding the financial system, right? Like everything started from there. And I know you had gold and silver at some point in your life,
hmm
right?
yeah, so I think that must have been over 10 years ago. I think maybe 2008, 9, 10, around the financial crisis. I was researching a lot of content online from YouTube and even books about the monetary system and the currency, inflation, like everything that was happening already back then. They were printing money out of thin air. It was a big topic, maybe not very big in the media, but I saw it and I was researching it, and I could see that many other people like me were looking for answers, like what's going on. The monetary system is collapsing, and how to save my wealth. So I was buying gold and silver, physically gold and silver. But back then, that was even before the grocery store, I think. So I had almost no money, like maybe couple of $1,000 I was putting into gold and silver. But for me, that was like, I felt like I was securing my wealth somehow. And then when I started working in the grocery store, I kept buying some gold and silver with my salary, and yeah, made me happy because I knew that no one can take this away from me. No one can print money out of thin air to dilute my wealth, which was not wealth, but it was a few $1,000s. But yeah, it made me happy somehow. It made me feel safe and secure. But somehow I also expected a bigger return on it because I thought like maybe I can get a 3x, 5x if the monetary system collapses now. But it didn't really collapse. Like it's collapsing slowly, but I didn't get that return. So later, when I heard about Bitcoin, I thought maybe that's the next thing.
They say whenever you have a problem, if you write it down, you're already halfway to the problem, right? And I like that because understanding that there is a problem is already a huge step because most of the people don't even see the problem itself. So the fact that you said, okay, I'm working, I have a job, and I want to save as much as I can. I want to protect myself from inflation. I think it was fantastic. Your grocery store job, the first one, or you've done something before?
That was my first one, I would say. I mean, long, long, long time before, when I was like very young in school, I had some kind of summer job, maybe,
Okay.
like a couple of weeks or something, but not really a real job. But the grocery store was my first real job.
What was your first breakthrough? So from the job you had in Sweden, is there a specific memory you have?
My first memory of that was, I think I just decided that I wasn't happy with my current life, and it was just boring. And I mean, I made money in the grocery store and I had some friends, but it was too normal and too boring for me. And I'm full of too much energy, and like I felt like I needed to do something and put this energy into something big because I thought I could easily do it. If I just have something to do, I always thought I could do it huge and big. That's what I always knew, but I just didn't know what. So like I just started researching online, like how to make something big happen, and I started finding a lot of information about mindset, the law of attraction, And I already researched the universe already a few years before, because when I was researching the monetary system, I was also researching a little bit about the universe and how everything is energy and all of that stuff, because it's super interesting how to navigate reality, you know, like what is reality made of. And anyway, so the law of attraction was really what made me change my life, because I started to use the law of attraction in my favor. So I started to visualize and attract, and from that point, I've been attracting things into my life. And well, everything I have today was basically attracted to me through the law of attraction. So all the money and the cars and the lifestyle, the traveling, the freedom, you know, feeling proud of myself, all of those things came from the law of attraction.
So much we don't comprehend or understand, and most of the times, like you said, those are simple things to put in action. Like you can have a vision board, or you can pretend to be wealthy. I remember you were saying I used to work in a wealthy neighborhood and imagining, oh, I live there. I used to download the apps and ask for a quotation. How much is a flight from Sweden to Paris? As if it was part of your routine. And I think those things are building your mindset. They're preparing your mind, and they are going to serve you. I think they even say asking is given, right? Most of the people, they think about the how, but the how doesn't matter. You know, I think if you focus on the what, it will come, right? What would you say to someone who now works in a grocery store, for example, and he or she, or they make a couple of $1,000s a month?
Well, they should do the same thing like I did. They should start visualizing their dream life. They should start visualizing goals. And actually, the first step is not to visualize. The first step is to first decide what it is that they actually want. You know, so we all have our things that we want. Like when I was a kid, I really wanted a Bugatti Veyron. Like I really wanted that car. And I really wanted to be free and travel the world and things like that, you know? So first decide what it is that you want. Could be a car, could be a lifestyle. I would think big. So instead of thinking just one thing, just think about the lifestyle and like the bigger picture, you know, change your whole idea of how to live. And imagine then yourself in that position in the future. You don't have to say in 1 year or 5 years. It doesn't matter. Just like see yourself as that person, as your most extraordinary version of yourself. And that's really like the, that's honestly as simple as that. That's how you do it. You start visualizing every single day. That's important to keep doing it every day. Sooner rather than later, the universe will start giving you small opportunities here and there. And some people think that it sounds like law of attraction is you can just visualize and lay in your couch, but it's not really like that. The universe will give you opportunities, but it's always your job to take the opportunity. If you don't take it, then it's gone, you know? The universe will meet you halfway, but you have to take the step as well, you know? So you cannot you need to put some energy into those opportunities, and but they will come, because if you visualize, if you attract with the law of attraction, then you will attract opportunities. And it's a law of it's the a law of the universe. It's like gravity, you know. If you drop your phone, it will fall. If you visualize and put your energy in a certain way, you will attract more of that energy. So the law of attraction is about attracting more of what you already vibrate with. So thoughts and words and feelings are all energy and vibrations. So you need to vibrate with what you want rather than what you already have or what you don't want. I mean, some people, they think too much about how much money they owe people, or all the anxiety of like how much they hate their life or their work or something, you know.
And they're multiplying that,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
If you think about that all the time, then all those vibrations will attract more of that reality, or at the very least, it's gonna make it impossible to escape it. So it's very important to at least 1 minute to 5 minutes per day, just visualize and imagine that your life is already perfect, exactly how you want it. That energy will attract more of that.
If you wish to enter this journey where you want to change your reality, how much do you think your network will impact?
Not necessarily. It's up to you, I would say. Like I think. I mean, I was in a grocery store. I didn't need anyone, right? Like there was no
Mhm.
one there to help me where I am today. My parents didn't have the knowledge to help me to where I am today. There was no one around me that could possibly have helped me get to where I am today. So it didn't really matter who were my friends or who were my close surroundings back then, because no matter who it was, I would have done this anyways. So honestly, I don't think it's that important.
Not necessarily more powerful friends around you, but having people that want the same that you want, or having someone who has already had what you want,
Mm.
it would be easier. At the end of the day, you can decide not to be impacted by the outside, right? You can, it's from within, I guess.
If people think that you need good people around you to be successful, then they're just using excuses
Not to be
not
successful.
become, yeah. Because
Yeah.
you don't need anyone to become successful. You don't need anything or anyone. You just need yourself and your mind. That's all you need. Like, some people think it's controversial if I say it like that, but like, even someone in the like trenches of an African village could become what I am today in a given time. I'm not saying overnight maybe, but with enough time invested into energy and aligning this person's internal energy, could change their life to anything they want. If they want to drive a Bugatti, they want to be the CEO of a huge company, they want to just buy their parents a villa or another country. Like, they can do all of that. And the fact that they believe that it's not obtainable means that they're not going to be able to do it. It's all about their mindset. So, people just have this box that they're in, that it's not possible. It only happens to people with rich parents. It only happens to people that are this age, or it only happens to men, or it only happens to women, or like, these things, like, it's things in their mind that are keeping them from becoming successful. And there's no such thing as a limit to anything. Actually, on the contrary, every person, every soul, every mind has unlimited possibilities. So we can literally become anything that we want. And if you think about it, the universe is just energy. So this village in Africa, for example, it is, if you think about it, just energy. It's just it's the physical reality is not as real as people may think. And things that are not physical, things that are just energy, can be changed, can be manipulated, it can be attracted. And that's what's important. The extreme example is a village in Africa, but a less extreme example is me in a grocery store. Like, someone else might say that that's also like, oh yeah, how can you go from a grocery store just to Dubai and drive Bugattis? But I changed my whole reality. I changed my universe by changing my thoughts and my feelings and my everything, and I attracted it. It's basically like, the world is like, like The Sims. Like, back in the days, people were
Yeah.
playing these, like, you can
Game.
create your little world. That's how reality works. You can create your reality. There's unlimited possibilities, and you are the artist of your own life. Like, you paint whatever you want. Like, no one is gonna stop you. Like, your mind, no one can control your mind. Of course, like, on a daily basis, someone can steal your money, someone can fire you from your job. That's in, like, the perceived real reality. But in your mind, no one can steal your thought, no one can stop you from thinking something. Like, this is your own garden, and it's up to you what you do with it. And it's important that people understand how important it is to be also then the gardener of your own garden. Like, if you don't do anything, it's just gonna look bad, right? It's like, grass is growing in the wrong place and everything. You need to make sure that you keep healthy thoughts and healthy opinions about yourself, and don't let people pull you down, and don't let governments tell you what's right or wrong, or school to tell you what's fact or not fact. And because all of these things are actually mind control. Because if you think about it, the governments of the world, they don't want you to be successful. They don't want you to be free. They want people to be easier to be controlled. And then it's easier if everyone is just like 9 to 5s and kind of going to school and watching their football games in the evenings. Makes them kind of easy to just control. Yeah. So someone that breaks free from that becomes free. And imagine if everyone was like me. It would be like. I don't know, like, beautiful, like, people do whatever they want. but it would also challenge the idea of governments, I would say, because, look at me, like I
It's
have,
much harder to control.
yeah, I have all my money in Bitcoin. Like, I don't care about government. I don't care about banks. Like, I want my money in my own hands. I fly wherever I want. I go wherever I want. All these things. So, the level of freedom I have today is actually what I also was visualizing, because I visualized Bugattis and things, but I also visualized freedom, and that was very important to me.
Yeah. I love what you said. You said your perception is your reality. So if you want to change your reality, change your perception, right? It's a journey for sure to change your reality by changing your perception. I completely agree. And I don't think what happens from the outside it matters. It's like a filter. For example, if you open your mind to the opportunity, or if you are visualizing whatever you want, so if your perception is basically your reality, then you will most likely spot opportunities. Whether if you are not focusing on opportunities, you won't even see them because your mind is not even there. It doesn't matter how it's going to happen. The only thing that matters is your perception of it, and it will manifest in one way or another as long as you look for it. If you don't look for it, if you don't search for it, well, nothing is going to happen. And like you said in the beginning, if you complain about something and say, I hate my job, I hate money, I hate these things, you will then keep attracting that kind of vibe, right?
No, but it's true. Like, if you don't spot the opportunities, then you will not take them. And the thing is, opportunities are everywhere. If I asked you, for example, yesterday, like, how many women with brown hair did you see yesterday?
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know because you didn't
I
actually.
wasn't looking for it.
You weren't looking for it. But if I tell you today, count all of the women with brown hair that you see today or tomorrow. Now, as soon as you see one, you're gonna spot her. You're gonna put her into your account, and then eventually you will tell me, yeah, maybe 8 you saw. And the same goes with opportunities. If you look for them, if you're open for them, then you will see them, and then it's up to you to take them. But someone who's not actually open to opportunities, or open to make money, or open to change their life, they will never see the opportunity, even if it's right in front of them.
Yeah, exactly, because they didn't calibrate their mind to the opportunity itself. If you don't like your life, you don't like your job, now what are you going to do about it? Right? So having something happening to you, it could be your lifestyle, it could be a situation, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters, I believe, is how you react to it, right? So then your mindset becomes the most precious asset you have as a human being, because you can then say, well, everything comes from within. What happens outside, it doesn't count. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I manifest my own reality. And if something happens to me, I can decide or not to engage or not engage with that thing. Taking responsibility, I think it's one of the most important thing, because then when you are responsible for something, if something doesn't work, well, you only have you, right? So you are the reason why something is working or not. Whether most of the time, most of the people, they like to point a finger. Oh, it wasn't me, it was my boss, or it wasn't me, it was my friend, or something I like to say a lot. When you point one finger to something, 3 are pointing back at you. So when you're saying it's your fault, well, it's 3 versus 1. So always take responsibilities. And it kind of became my mission to make my life better. Most of the time, people, they fail to see that if you want to get, you have to give. Like, that's my opinion. But by giving to the universe think you are healthy and wealthy. So they want to give you more, because whatever you have, you distribute, right? And I think what you've done with your journey as a content creator, you started to learn about a topic, and then you started to propagate a message. So then probably, I wanted to ask you if you agree, probably the universe then saw you as a distribution center, right?
Maybe. I mean, why not? I mean, I don't pretend like I know everything. So, like,
Of course,
it may be the case that, maybe like that. I've done a lot of crypto content, and I build crypto companies. But with the attention I'm getting, I try to talk as much as I can about the law of attraction, especially on my vlog channel, Carl Runefeld Vlogs, because I know that if I can do it, anyone can do it. And, I just want to see how many people can I inspire to do the same, and I'm not going to charge anyone for that. Like, my YouTube channel is completely free for anyone to watch. The vlog channel, I don't even sell it, like, no sponsorships, no nothing. It's just like, it's just for fun. I like making those videos, and I know that if I just put out the message of how to change your life, mindset, the law of attraction, and also simultaneously showing my life because it's like a proof of concept, you know, like
Yeah.
I have my Bugatti, so
Yeah.
means I did it, and so can you. And that's why I have that YouTube channel. Some people, people have opinions. They're like, "Oh, Carl, you're showing off too much, like a Bugatti, blah blah blah." But the very reason for showing my life now is to really show people how I made it, that I made it, and that you can do this yourself. And that is, I think, the most important thing. And I know there are some people online that might talk about mindset and law of attraction, but maybe they are like very wealthy and stuff, but they don't show it. Like maybe they sit in like a small studio in like Thailand, like this, and they're probably very happy. Like they don't have a Bugatti because they don't care. But it's harder to convince people that they are successful. When you have a Bugatti and you have a watch and you have a cool lifestyle in Dubai, you know, it just makes it easier to put out the message.
By definition, I guess, if you wish to have someone, I don't know if you want to call it mentor, but if you want to follow the steps of someone that you admire or someone they have what you want,
Mm-hmm.
it will be much easier for someone who wants a Bugatti
Mm-hmm.
to go and watch your videos because
Yeah.
you have the Bugatti, right?
This is true. At the end of the day, success shouldn't be measured by Bugattis
Mhm.
or watches or anything like that. It shouldn't because, you know,
People want different things.
well, first of
Mhm.
all, you could inherit $1 billion, and does that make you successful? Not necessarily, right? It just makes you rich, but it's not really success. And
Mhm.
are you proud of yourself? That's another question. Like, money doesn't necessarily make you proud of yourself. Success has to be measured in a different way. And so when you look at my things, it just because I have money doesn't necessarily mean that I am successful.
Mhm.
But I do feel successful because of everything that I've done, everything I
Yeah.
built, and what the feelings I have about myself, the way my parents think about me now, like they were proud of me, and the impact I have out there. I'm making people millions of dollars by having them buy Bitcoin for low and hopefully buy for or sell for expensive in the future. I made videos about Bitcoin when Bitcoin was like $3,000, and I told
Mhm.
people buy as much as you can. And many of those people are thanking me today because they made a lot of money from that. And when it comes to the law of attraction and the vlog channel, it's all about just making sure people, change their life and become successful, whatever they think is success. But I don't think, yeah, measuring the success by Bugattis is not the right way. However, it is how people measure success in social media. They need to see that I made money. They need to see me flying a private jet. Now they know I made money. Now they know that I am successful, which is wrong, but I'm playing the game.
Definition of success is very personal, but it is clear to everybody that one of the channels where you manifest success is by being free. Like if you have everything you want, if you go everywhere you want, if you can buy everything you can think of, then by definition you are a free individual. I mean, from when it comes to, of course, money, but money and success are often, like you said, I agree, they go in the same channel. So I like the fact that you're having your life vlog as a message to inspire other people to say, hey, you see, if I've done it, you also can do it, which is fantastic. And I also like to think about, by definition, the more of those vlogs you put out with the love, the more it will attract because you are vibrating that energy, right? Now, thinking about Bitcoin, like if you could give yourself a call, is there anything you would say to yourself?
I would have just told myself to use the law of attraction, which I later did, but I could have done it earlier.
Faster.
Mhm. And to buy Bitcoin.
Is there anything you are focusing now besides your vlog, which I love?
So, I mean, I could mention some crypto stuff now, but I really loved making music when I was a kid. So that is something that I'm still doing. Like I write songs, but I just don't give it to the public because it's like a private thing for myself. But I did actually upload a song on Spotify 2012, so more than 10 years ago, and it's still up there. So people could go, and if you search my name, Carl Runefelt, you will find my song. It's called Walk on Water. So I wrote it and produced it, and it's me singing and playing, instruments and stuff. But anyways, I want to go back to that a little bit. So that's something that I'm doing for fun. Yeah, it would be cool to see what people think about my song, which is like very old now, of course. So it's not really modern. Like that's
Nice.
one thing that I want to focus on. Not like how can I make more money, because I don't need more money now. It's more like how can I just do things that I enjoy, and I enjoy music. I love racing, which costs a lot of money, by the way. So that's gonna cost me some, but I want to do racing as well. Making sure that what I've made so far, I keep it and I multiply it, so it at least doesn't go in the wrong direction. Should of course always be more, not less. But other than that, I think yeah, just spreading the message of the law of attraction. I've made some donations that I want to keep doing as well.
Yeah, I love that.
By the time this is out, I'm sure it's already announced that I gave $80,000 to the Emirates Down Syndrome Association. So it's a center for people with Down syndrome here in Dubai, and that means now they can help build better facilities. They can also help children and people with Down syndrome with becoming more independent and things like this. So that's something that I'm doing as well.
I love it. Time is the most precious asset we have, right? You said something earlier about the controlling part. I think if you want to be free from the control, you have to break some barriers. And of course, you mentioned the financial freedom. You think you have your money in the bank, but the bank does not have your money. So how do you free yourself from that one? Well, you have to find a channel. It could be gold, it could be silver, it could be Bitcoin, but you go through a self-custody. Was that your first step to acknowledging that something was wrong with money and then you wanted to free yourself?
It was part of it, but no, I don't think that was the reason.
Not necessarily entirely.
It was part of it. I mean, I don't want schools or governments or banks or money to control me. Yeah.
For me, this is one of the reasons why I love crypto, specifically Bitcoin, that much, is because as far as I know, it's the only asset you can truly own, period. Because everything else is not yours. Like the money you have on your bank account, they're not yours. The real estate you buy is not yours. Like you only own a house or a flat because a government is allowing you to own it. Whether when it comes to Bitcoin and crypto, it depends on which crypto, but let's say Bitcoin, then if you do privately own the keys, if you do have a private self-custody, let's say, then I think it's the only asset you can truly own because nobody can take it away from you. Was your journey into crypto similar, or you've seen something else that attracted you to wanting to know more about?
I think it was the same somehow because I was into gold and silver for that very reason, actually. So whatever you say about Bitcoin, you could also say about gold in that sense, because it is also an asset that you can hold in your hand, and as long as you hide it well, it's yours. So when I saw Bitcoin, I saw that it's the same but better, more portable, way more divisible, and it's easier to transfer, cheaper to transact if you transact bigger amounts at least, safer to transact, and just yeah, basically it's like gold but better. The most important thing is the fact that it's your asset, and the fact that you can have an asset online. It's cool. It's revolutionary. In fact, my net worth in the bull market was like
Much higher. Yeah.
insane. But now it's back down to like something more down to earth, let's say.
Yeah.
But still way more than I had back in the grocery store days. But my net worth went up like, I don't know, like 1,000x.
Mm.
And now it's back down like maybe like 70-80% down.
Yeah. I mean, how do you deal with that mentally? Like I can see through my portfolio, and it's been extremely hard because you have to go through some challenges. Like you see, okay, they are unrealized losses, but still, I mean,
I've noticed that, or I've realized that money is just money and it cannot hurt you. So if you lose $1 million, then it doesn't hurt you. It doesn't change how you're going to wake up in the morning or how you're going to eat your food. It's not going to change the way people look at you, or at least I don't think so. It doesn't change anything. It's just numbers on a screen. So if I lose $1 million, it happened. Like I lost tens of millions of unrealized profits and stuff. Like if you make the numbers, yeah, it's crazy. Like I lost a lot of money and I made money. I lost money, but I don't let it define me. And of course, I will have a bad day if I lose $1 million. I get it, but like I don't let that get to my head. Instead, I always learn, and I think, how can I avoid that in the future? And I am thankful that I'm learning with $1 million rather than losing 10 million or 100 million or 5 billion in the future. Like, imagine if I lost $5 billion. That would be bad. But even then, like, if you lose 5 billion out of your 100 billion, then maybe it's not so bad. So it's like, it's relative as well. If I lose today $1 million, it's equivalent of someone else maybe losing $500, you know.
It's proportionate too.
Someone like, let's say, the old me in my grocery store, you know, like if I lost $500 back then, I would be just as mad as if I lose $1 million today. Maybe even less mad I am today because I realized that I can make more. If I made $1 million one time, I can make 10 million another time. And many entrepreneurs, traders, investors, they have a similar story where you make a lot, you lose some, you learn from it, and you get stronger, you know?
Yeah, I like that. I think there are two components that you said that I love. So one, if you learn something in the process, you're never losing anything because you have a lesson. So you're paying for something, right? And the second part is, again, your mindset is the most important thing. So it doesn't actually matter how much money you have. I think it matters how do you get there in the first place. Because if you know how to get there, even if they wipe you out and you lose everything, well, you know how to get it. So that's probably the most valuable thing. Is there anything you would say to someone who in 2023 decides to jump into crypto? They have no experience. They have never done it before. What would you say to them?
Watch the Moon Show.
I like that. I'm actually super excited about the Moon Show, and I'm forever grateful that you decided to share that journey with me, because never done anything similar, and having you next to me every day, I'm learning so much. So I'm really grateful for that.
It's amazing. It's cool. Yeah, it looks like people love it. So, and live streaming Monday to Friday, it's like a nice routine, and people come back and watch, and I like it. Yeah, it's cool.
I don't want to let you down because, you know, you gave me the opportunity to talk into your audience, right? So that's for me something I am even more careful. You know, like, it's like you would give me your most precious thing, and I'm like, I really don't want to drop it, you know? So I'm really trying my best to make sure that I deserve the spot, and I treat your audience as best as I can.
That's amazing. I think people like it. I'm sure we have some people watching now that are looking at the Moon Show Monday to Friday, and yeah, it's a very cool thing. And I think in the bull market, we're going to get very good engagement and views, and we can spread the message about Bitcoin to even more people. So incredible.
Yeah, indeed. I completely agree. But Carl, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. I know I wanted to do it forever with you, so I'm super grateful. Guys, remember to stay tuned, watch the Moon Show.
How many likes are we going to get on this podcast?
Let's say 500.
At least 500.
At least 500.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Cheers.